Quarantine curfew in 5 police divisions in Colombo. Curfew in the Gampaha district and 5 police divisions in Kurunegala to continue. All consular services at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs temporarily suspended. Minister Vasudeva Nanayakkara will support the 20th Amendment, subject to certain conditions.
අපි ඔක්කොම 20 වෙනි සංශෝධනයට ඡන්දය දෙන්න එකඟ වෙලා තිබෙනවා.
Rishad Badiuddin attends parliamentary sessions for the vote on the 20th Amendment.
A very good afternoon. You are watching Lunchtime News on TV1. I'm Tharusha Kumar Singha. Now, the parliamentary debate on the 20th Amendment of the Constitution took place for the second day in Parliament today. We have a comprehensive report lined up for you regarding that. But first, let's take a look at the latest COVID-19 situation in the country. Quarantine curfew has been imposed in Mattakulliya, Modara, Blue Mendel, Grand Pass and Vellampitiya police areas with immediate effect. DIG and police media spokesperson Ajit Rohana expressed the following views in that regard.
According to the recommendations of the Director General of Health Services, it has been decided quarantine curfew has been imposed in Mattakulliya, Modara, Blue Mendel, Grand Pass and Vellampitiya police areas with immediate effect. Because of the COVID-19 cases identified in the said areas and nearby areas, this quarantine curfew was imposed to conduct the quarantine process. So we would like to request the residents of those police areas to refrain from travelling and remain indoors. Vehicles are permitted to travel through these police areas. However, vehicles cannot stop on the roads of the said police areas and pick up or drop off passengers. If it is done, it can be considered a violation of the quarantine regulations. We would like to request the residents of Mattakulliya, Modara, Blue Mendel, Grand Pass and Vellampitiya police areas to respect the quarantine regulations at all times. If by any chance you show symptoms of the virus, please inform the police and relevant health authorities.
Head of the National Operations Centre for the Prevention of COVID-19 outbreak, Lieutenant General Shavendra Silva said that 186 patients linked to the COVID-19 cluster in Minuangoda have made a full recovery and has been discharged.
186 COVID-19 patients linked to the Minuangoda cluster have made full recovery and steps have been taken to discharge them. 6 villages in the Agalavatta Divisional Secretariat and Palidda Nuwara Divisional Secretariat in the Kalutara district have been isolated. The reason for this is that an owner of a bus operating in Matugama tested positive for COVID-19. We traced his contacts and tested 26 bus drivers and conductors and 13 others as well. These people were from areas that had been isolated. To reduce the risk that this may pose to the districts of Colombo, Kalutara and Ratnapura, we have isolated these villages and placed them under quarantine.
In line with the current COVID-19 situation of the country, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has decided to temporarily suspend all its consular services.
The ministry announced that all services provided by the consular division have been temporarily suspended and public gatherings have been restricted until further notice as a measure to control the spread of COVID-19. Accordingly, the Consular Affairs Division situated in Colombo will remain closed for visitors, including exporters, who visit the division for attestation of export documents until further notice. Document attestation services will also not be offered by both the regional consular officers in Mathura and Jaffna until further notice. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs requests the general public to contact the following numbers for queries related to death cases of Sri Lankans overseas and death-related documentation assistance. 0776 032252, 0773 586433, 0718 415623 and 0701 428246.
The Postal Department has begun delivering medicine to patients through post in Colombo, Gampaha and Kurunegala districts. Postmaster at the Colombo Central Mail Exchange, Aslam Hazan, said that medicine from hospitals as well as pharmacies will be delivered to patients in these districts.
බෙහෙත් බෙදීම සිදු කරන්නේ අපි කොළඹ.
We will only be distributing medicine in the limited districts of Gampaha, Kurunegala and Colombo. But if the health authorities make a request from us to distribute medicine in other districts as well, we are prepared to do that. We are receiving the support of health officials and the security forces. We have been given items such as sanitizers and face masks. We will hold discussions with the Director General of Health Services and get involved in these matters directly.
දෙපාර්තමේන්තුව ඍජුවම සම්බන්ධ වෙලා වැඩ කටයුතු කරනවා.
A heated situation arose in Parliament today during the debate of the 20th Amendment to the Constitution against the current COVID-19 situation of the country.
ගරු කතානායකතුමනි
Honorable Speaker, a member of this House has attended a funeral which has been identified as a COVID-19 location, along with the infected person at that location. The chairman of the Balapitiya Pradesh Sabha has been directed to quarantine. Parliamentarian Sampath Athukola has attended this funeral. I directed the attention of this House to that matter during my speech yesterday. I requested that the necessary action should be taken in this regard, otherwise the virus can spread to this entire House. If he has not contacted the virus, there is no problem. All the people who have attended this funeral have been traced and directed to quarantine. But our MP has not been directed to quarantine because with this, the entire parliament is at risk.
කරන්න මේක පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ලොකු හානියක් සිද්ධ කිරීමක් කියන එක තමයි අපි කියන්නේ. ඒක බරපතල තත්ත්වයක්.
සෞඛ්‍යංශය අවධානයට යොමු කරන්න.
පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ඇවිල්ලා නැවත වතාවක්
හරි බොහොම ස්තුතියි.
මනුෂ්‍ය නායකකාර මන්ත්‍රී
Manusha Nanayakara cannot even go to Gaul for a funeral. He had to charge money to go back and forth.
මම මලකතරකට
හරි බොහොම ස්තුතියි. බොහොම ස්තුතියි. අපේ
ගරු කතානායකතුමනි මනුෂ්‍ය නායකකාර මන්ත්‍රී
Honorable Speaker, Manusha Nanayakara is lying.
මම උත්තරේ දීලා ඉඳගන්න.
මෙතුමා
Manusha Nanayakara charged money to go to Gaul and come back.
ඒක සභාවට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෙමෙයි. ඔබතුමා ඉඳගන්න. ඔව්.
A group including employees of the Paliagoda fish market, which was closed yesterday, were directed to quarantine centres last night.
Most of those who are being taken are employees of this place, some businessmen. Outsiders are small amount. Only 2% will be inside, and by 4 am they have gone out.
Meanwhile, in order to control the spread of COVID-19, it was decided to temporarily close the Peta Manning Market from 10 am today to 5 am on Monday. Meanwhile, the Gampaha district, where quarantine curfew was in effect, had become deserted this morning. According to the police, the curfew imposed on the entire Gampaha district at 10 last night will be in effect until 5 am next Monday. Police said the move came as more COVID-19 infections were reported. Accordingly, vehicles passing through the Gampaha district will not be able to park in the area for any reason. 6 Graminaldari divisions in the Agalabatta and Palindinuwara divisional secretariats in the Kalutara district were isolated until further notice.
The opposition leader Sajith Premadasa spoke about the 20th Amendment in Parliament today.
විධායකය අධිකරණය ව්‍යවස්ථාදායක රාජ්‍යකරණයේ ත්‍රිත්වය තුල තිබිය යුතු සමබරතාවය සහ මුලින්ම මේ 20 වෙනි සංශෝධනය විනාශ කර ස්වාධීන කොමිෂන් සභා කෙලසලා තිබෙනවා. පත්කිරීම කිරීමේ රාජ්‍ය ආයතනවලට අධිකරණයට තනි පුද්ගලයෙක් පත් කරනවා වෙනුවට සමූහයක් ඒකරාශී කරගෙන ඒ පත්කිරීම ලබා දීමේ ක්‍රියාවලිය සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම නතර වෙනවා. ව්‍යවස්ථාදායක සභාව සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම ඉවත් වෙනවා. විධායක ජනාධිපති ක්‍රමය අහෝසි කිරීම සඳහා අපිට මතකයි දලදා සමිඳුන් ඉදිරිපිට ගිවිසුම් අත්සන් කරා. නලා පිනගෙන පාදයාත්‍රා.
As you were witnessing the opposition leader Sajith Premadasa, he said that the 20th Amendment to the Constitution completely violates the executive, the legislature and the judiciary. And further on he said that it completely destroys its balance, and also condemning the 20th Amendment to the Constitution, he further said that it has destroyed independent commission. We all know that independent commissions have been abolished by the 20th Amendment to the Constitution, and also he said that the Constitutional Council has also been abolished by the 20th Amendment, and he pointed out that there is a dying need of a National Security Council for the country. We saw how the National Security Council was defunct against the backdrop of the April 21st attack, and he also emphasized that the government should listen to the Mahasangha and follow their advices as well for the betterment of Sri Lanka.
ජනාධිපති වෙන්නේ මොන පක්ෂයේද මොන පාර්ශ්වයේද රටේ ජාතික ආරක්ෂාවත් එක්ක කාටවත් සෙල්ලම් කරන්නට බැරි වෙන සංශෝධනයක ඒ ප්‍රතිපාදනය අඩංගු විය යුතුයි. රට ගැන හිතනවා නම් මොකද්ද ගේන්න ඕන? නව සෞඛ්‍ය පනතක් ගේන්න ඕන. නව නිරෝධායන පනතක් ගේන්නට ඕන. ඒකයි අපේ ජාතික න්‍යාය පත්‍රයේ ඉහළින්ම තියෙන්නට ඕන.
Meanwhile, again in Parliament this morning, Ministers Vimal Weerawansude Gamanpilla and Vasudeva Nanayakkara convened a special media briefing today regarding the 20th Amendment to the Constitution.
There were three issues remaining. One was regarding the urgent bills provision, the other was the dual citizenship issue, the third was the provision that removed more than 50 companies under the state from the Auditor General's purview. They ended with the Auditor General retaining his power to audit state companies, and urgent bills will only be brought if there is a threat to national security and in case of a natural disaster. We know that the issue surrounding dual citizens arose from the 19th Amendment. Why was this provision brought to the 19th Amendment? It was brought to stop Gotabaya Rajapaksa from contesting the election. We agreed to remove this provision barring dual citizens from holding public office for now and reintroduce it in the new constitution. Dual citizens will be barred from holding public office in the new constitution, even though they will be allowed to do so under the 20th Amendment to the constitution. That was the assurance we got from the President when we went to meet him yesterday. We have agreed to vote for the 20th Amendment to the Constitution.
සාතිකය ජනාධිපතිතුමාගෙන් ඊ අපි තුමා හම්බ වෙන්න ගිය වෙලාව. අපි ඔක්කොම 20 වෙනි සංශෝධනයේට ඡන්දය දෙන්න එකඟ වෙලා තිබෙනවා. අවසානයේදී අපිට විසඳ ගන්න තිබු.
We had to resolve 4 issues. We broadly debated these matters at the previous cabinet meeting. The President, making an emotional speech, told us that there was no debate on the dual citizenship in the country. This clause was brought to bar him from contesting presidential election. So the President has an emotional issue with this clause, so please allow me to remove this article. I agree with your factual arguments as well, so we will include this in the new constitution. Since we have been given everything that we have asked for, besides one demand, we decided to agree to the President's request. We will support the 20th Amendment to the Constitution.
සහයෝගය දෙන්න තියෙන එක. ඒ සාකච්ඡාවේදී එතුමා නිතා පැහැදිලිව කිව්වා ලබන වසර ඇතුළත ගෙනෙනු ලබන.
During the discussion, the President clearly said that an article that bars the entry of dual citizens to positions of governance in the country will be included in the new constitution that will be brought in the next year. The Minister of Justice, in his response in Parliament today, confirmed this. We were asked to support the 20th Amendment, believing in this statement. Relying on the statement of the President and believing that he will keep to his word, all of us agreed to continue to hold a stance against allowing dual citizens to contest elections, but not abstain from voting for the clause at the committee stage so as to not create a division within the government.
ඒ බෙදීමක් විශේෂයෙන්ම ආණ්ඩු පක්ෂය තුල බෙදීමක් ඇති නොවන ආකාරයට කටයුතු කළ යුතුයි කියන නිගමනයට අපි සාමූහිකව ආවා.
නව ව්‍යවස්ථාවක මේ කරුණ ඇතුළත් වුණාට පස්සේ ඒ මොකද වන විට විරුද්ධ ප්‍රවැසන් සමාජ පාර්ලිමේන්තුවල එකතුලා ඉන්න පුළුවන්.
මං හිතනවා ලැජ්ජාවක් බයක් තියෙන.
I believe that any dual citizen who has dignity would not attempt to enter parliament during this small window.
එකක් තියෙනවා නම් කිසිම දිත්ත පුරවැසියෙක් මේ කිටි කාලය තුල මේ ඇරිච්ච දොරෙන් ඔළුව දාන එකක් නැහැ කියලා මං හිතනවා.
MP Rishad Badiuddin, who is currently in remand custody, arrived in Parliament today wearing personal protective equipment. Now, trials of a COVID-19 vaccine being developed by AstraZeneca and Oxford University will continue following a review into the death of a volunteer in Brazil.
Brazil's health authority has given no details about the death, citing confidentiality protocols. Oxford University said a quote-unquote careful assessment had revealed no safety concerns. According to BBC, the volunteer had not received the vaccine. Only around half the volunteers in the trial are given the actual Oxford University COVID-19 vaccine. The second group are being given an existing licensed vaccine for meningitis. Neither the participants nor their families know which vaccine they are being given. This enables the researchers to compare the results for the two groups in order to measure whether the vaccine is effective.
That is all the news we have for you this afternoon. The parliamentary debate on the 20th Amendment to the Constitution is still ongoing in Parliament. We will bring you the latest details as and when it happens to you, your latest and your number one news provider, News First. For more details, log on to our website, that is www.newsfirst.lk. Have a good day.